Good afternoon to you all students. Hi students, how are you? I hope you all are doing well. Warm greetings to you all students. So have you all studied till yesterday's portion? So students, are you revising daily's portion? So please study. What are the portions? So I am taking daily. Please study well. Okay. So and also I asked you to write question answers after the completion of this session. Isn't it? So are you writing? Please study and write. Okay. So welcome to our today's online class students. So now we are studying about chapter 5 Python variables and operators. So till yesterday we have studied types of operators in Python. Isn't it? So what are the operators you have studied? Arithmetic operator, assignment operator, logical operator, conditional operator, delimiters. So these are the things you have studied. This is a very important question. Please study well. Okay. So today we are going to study about literals. Okay. Literals. So yesterday I gave introduction about literals. Isn't it? So what do you mean by literals? So already you know, in program you are using variable declaration. What do you mean by variable declaration? Int A, float B. That is called as what? Variable declaration. So along with that variable or constant, you are giving some raw data or some more data. Okay. So along with that variable and along with that some constants. What do you mean by constants? Pi equal to 3.14. That's a constant value. Likewise, along with that constant and along with that variable, you are adding some raw data. That is called what? Literals. Understand? So, in Python, we are using three kinds of literals. Okay. So, in Python, how many types of literals are there? Three. What are they? Numeric, string, boolean. This is the important 2-mark question. Okay. Sometimes they will ask for 3-mark also. Please study well. So first all of you take your textbooks in your hand. So all of you take your textbooks in your hand. Have you all taken? Please take your mobile phones in your hand. Listen carefully. Okay. So what's the first type? Numeric literals. Okay. Name itself having numeric. What do you mean by numeric? Numbers. Okay. So this numeric literals consists of digits. That means I said no numbers. Numeric literals is nothing but a numbers. Okay. And these numbers are not immutable. What's the meaning of immutable? Means unchangeable. So only I have given inside the bracket unchangeable. That means once you define the number means you can't able to change the literal number. For example, Roman letter 1, 2, 3. That's on formal. Whether you can change the Roman letters according to your wish, whether you can change the roll number in some different manner. No. That's a predefined format. This is the roll number. Likewise, so this numeric literals also consists of many numbers or digits. So that digits you can't able to change. Understand? So numeric literals also there are three types are there. So numeric literals how many types are there? Three. What are they means? This and all already you have studied in 11th standard. Integer, float, complex. What do you mean by integer value? Normal numeral numbers. 1, 2, 3. What do you mean by float? Point numbers. What do you mean by complex? Complex numbers. That means real part as well as imaginary part. Understand? Yes. So for that they have given one example program for you. Listen. So yesterday I explained this program. Once more I am explaining. So here they are declaring 4 variables. Okay. So what are the variables name? A, B, C and D. So see the first number. First number is a combination of ones and 0. So if a number, you have declared a number with a combination of ones and 0 means that's a which number? Binary number. So this is a which kind of literal? Binary literal. Understand? So next, 100. That's a normal number. That means integer or decimal literal. Understand? Normal numbers. That's called as decimal literal. Next one is how you are going to identify octal number mean. The number starts with O. The number starts with O, that we are calling as an which literal? Octal literal. Understand? Next, the number starts with OX. This and all already you have studied in 11th standard. The number starts with OX. We are calling as an which literal? Hexadecimal literal. Understand? So, here we are declaring 4 literals. What are they? Binary, decimal, octal, hexadecimal. What's the meaning of these lines? Already sir, the line starts with hash symbol. We are calling as an which symbol? Which line? Command line. So while you are running this program, this line won't get executed. Okay. This is for your understanding purpose they are given. So already I have declared. Next I am going to print integer literals. Okay. First what's the thing I am going to declare? Integer literals. Okay. So what are the variables? A, B, C and D. 3 variables I am going to give what? Integers. That means in number format I am going to print. Okay. Yes. Next thing is float literal. So float, there are 2 variables I am giving for float. Float 1 and float 2. Okay. So in float 1, so I assign the value as a 10.5. First value of float 1. Second value of float 2 is 1.5 E2. What do you mean by E? Exponent. Understand? First I have declared 4 variables. Then I am printing in integer format. Next I am declaring float, that for our understanding they are given in float literal. Then I am going to print float literals. For that before we are going to print float, you need to declare. So I am declaring 2 variables, float 1 and float 2. What's the value of float 1? 10.5. What's the value of float 2? 1.5 E2. Okay. So next I am going to print float literals. Okay. So float literals present in which variable? Float 1 and float 2. So comma. What are the variables I need to print? Float 1, comma, float 2. Understand? Yes. Next we are going to declare which variable? Complex numbers. Complex literal. So what are the literals? What are the types of literals you have studied? Integer, float and complex. So integer over, then float, then complex I am going to declare. So complex numbers, so always contain how many parts? In maths you might have studied. Complex numbers, how many parts are there? 2. What are they? Real part as well as imaginary part. So I am declaring a variable called x. So just I am giving complex expression 1 plus 3.14j. Which is the real part? 1. Which is the complex part, the imaginary part? 3.14. So next line I am going to print complex literals. So complex literals in which variable I have declare x. So I am calling that variable. So here integer literals I am declaring in which variable? A, B, C, D. So only I call A, B, C, D. Float literal, so I have declared in 2 variables, float 1, float 2. So I am printing in float variables, I am calling float 1, float 2. Understand? In complex literal, I am giving in variable x. So I need to call which variable? X. Understand? Next, so I am printing this complex literal. See how? First I am assigning the value of which variable? X. So I am calling that variable x. Then imaginary part of x. Okay, so imaginary part, so you are storing in which variable? X. For that you are assigning another variable called x, isn't it? You are declaring in variable x. Next I am going to assign this x to next variable. Then I am going to call 2 parts. imaginary as well as real. So imaginary parts means x dot imagine of, image of, that is x dot I image, imaginary. Then real part, x dot real of. Understand? Yes. Then a program over. Next what you will do? You are going to run this program. So listen. What's the first in line? It will, while you are running the program, what output you will get at the first? Integer literals. What's the value of a? Binary format. That means a 10. Then what's the next one? 100. Then this value 300 and 310. It is converted in integer format. So the value is 200. Next this also converted in integer format. Value is 300. Okay. That's integer. See, then float literal. Next line, print float literal. Float 1, what's value? 10.5. Then float 2, 1.5 e2. That means exponent. 2 places you need to shift the points. How many places you need to shift to? So 15.150.0. That is e2. Point wise. Then complex literals. See, complex literals, what's the value of x? See, first one, imaginary part. That means what's the value? First you need to write the value. 1, 3.14. This is not point. Okay, 1, 3.14. Then imaginary part of x. X dot image of x that. What's the imaginary part? 3.14. Comma, real part of x. Real part of x. What's the real part of x? X dot real of. That means 1. That's 1.0. Understand? So this is somewhat tough. You understand and study. Okay. What's the next type of literal means? String literal. Okay. What's the next type of literal? String literal. Okay. So what do you mean by strings? So already you studied. What do you mean by strings? Collection of characters. For example, computer. COMPUTER. So C is one character. O is another character. M is another character. Altogether, computer is a string. Isn't it? So here, what do you mean by string literal mean? It is a sequence of characters. What do you mean by sequence? Collection of characters. So only this example I said. Computer. COMPUTER. So altogether collection of this all alphabets you are calling as a word computer. So computer is a sequence of characters. Understand? So here string, what do you mean by string literal means? So in string literal it is a sequence of characters. Okay? It is a sequence of character surrounded by quotes. So that character always, for example, you are giving a word called computer. So that computer word you are giving inside quotes. Understand? Inside double quotes or single quotes or triple quotes. Understand what I mean by string literal? So it is some collection of characters. You are giving that collection of characters with quotes. You are mentioning particular character inside the quotes. Okay. So here this Python language supports single quotes. Single quotes are double quotes, triple quotes for a string. For example, the same example you take. Computer, a word computer. So that same word you can able to give inside single quotes or double quotes or triple quotes. Normally we used to give particular important word or important sentence you are giving means. So particular word you should give inside single or double quote. That's a normal, isn't it? So likewise, some sentence or some word you are giving inside triple quote. Is it visible? This is a triple quote. Single quote you know. Double quote also you know. Some words you are giving inside triple quotes means. So that what's the meaning of that one means? You are going to declare multi-line. What do you mean by multi-line? Many lines. For example, computer is a word. Computer is a word. So you are given inside single quotes. So computer science is a subject for you. One sentence. So double quotes. So computer, who invented computer? Just like one paragraph you are going to write. So like that you are giving means you need to give inside which quotes? Triple quotes. Understand the difference between single, double and triple? Single quotes may be given in single character. That means A, B, or a word, computer. A double quotes means in sentence you can give, or a computer one word. Triple quotes always used to give represent multi-line. That means many lines. Understand? So, listen. This is the example for your string literals. So, first just read the definition. Then you understand and study the example means. Surely you can able to write by your own. Please don't mug up it. Understand and study. Okay. So, what's this on? Command line. First they are giving, this is a program to test string literal. So, I am giving one variable called what? Strings. Inside the string, this is Python. This is a sentence. This is Python. So, I am giving inside which quotes? Double quotes. Understand? Is it visible? Double quotes. Next, why I am giving as a strings? Sequence of characters or collection of characters. Understand? Whether here only one character is there or only one alphabet is there. No. 3 words are there. So, strings. Understand? Here only one alphabet is there. So, I am giving inside character. So, that also I mentioned inside which one? Double quotes. Understand? Next, see, multi-line. So, what is this one? Identifier. First itself we have studied. Identifiers is a name to identify particular variable. So, the identifiers always comes with which one? Underscore symbol. So, multi-line string. See, this they are giving, this is a multi-line string with more than one line code. One big sentence. So, this kind of multi-lines or big sentence you are giving means always you should give inside which one? Triple quotes. Understand? Understand? Understand the difference between these 3? First, this is a symbol, 3 words, collection of 3 words, strings. I have given inside double quotes. Here also a single character. So, I am giving inside what? Double quotes. Next, one big sentence. So, I am giving inside which one? Triple quotes. Understand? Understand triple quotes? Yes. Next, what are the things you need to print? First, you need to print which one? Strings. Print strings of. Next, print character of. Print multi-line str of. What's the output you will get? First, print the strings. So, strings means what? In strings, what you have declared? This is Python. So, at the output screen, this double quotes and triple quotes won't come. Okay, understand? So, if you are mentioned like this, double quotes means immediately you know this is a string. This is a string you are going to give as a input. So, while you are executing, inside the double quotes won't come. So, what's the first output you will get? This is Python. Next output, C. Third output, this is a multi-line string. This is a sentence you will get. Understand? Next one is a Boolean literal. Okay. Already you have studied about Boolean values. So, how many Boolean values are there? How many Boolean values are there? Ones and zeros. What's the meaning of that one? True or false. Either it may be true or false. That is called as what? Boolean. Okay, Boolean values. So, Boolean literals always have only 2 values. What are the values? Either true or false. Okay. So, here also they have given one program to test this Boolean literal. Okay. So, listen. First, 2 variables I have declared. What are the variable? Boolean 1 and Boolean 2. So, first variable I have given as a true. Second variable I have given as a false. So, what are the 2 variables I have declared in this program? 2 variables. What are they? Boolean 1 and Boolean 2. Boolean 1 means I am giving as true. Boolean 2 means false. Okay. So, inside the printout screen, just I gave us just like a heading I am giving. Demo program for Boolean literal. So, whatever you have given inside this print, that line will display in the output screen. That already you know. So, first line just like a heading I am giving. Demo program for Boolean literals. Okay. So, next line I am giving Boolean value 1. So what's the Boolean value 1? Which variable I need to call for Boolean value 1? Boolean 1. Understand? So Boolean value 1. So I am declaring the first value in Boolean 1. So which variable I need to call? Boolean 1. Second value I need to print. Boolean value 2. So which variable I need to call? Boolean 2. Understand now? So now you are running the program. So what's the first line you will get as output? This print demo program for Boolean literals. Understand? Second one. What's the second line you will get? Boolean value 1. So Boolean value 1, I am calling the variable Boolean 1. So what's the answer? True. Understand? Second, Boolean value 2. So I am calling the second variable called Boolean 2. So what answer you will get? False. Understand? This is a very simple program only. You are declaring two variables, true, Boolean, true or false. That variables you are printing and calling by calling that variable. Understand? So next one is escape sequences. Okay, this is a very important 3-mark question. Okay, escape sequences. So what do you mean by escape sequences? So this escape sequence, which symbol is the most important or special character means backslash. Okay. So what's the name of this character? The symbol backslash. Okay. So this escape sequence, this backslash is a very important or special character. Okay. We are calling this symbol is otherwise called escape character. Okay. What's the name we are calling for this backslash? Escape character. This is very sometimes they will ask for one word questions. Okay. Here more than 3 or 4 one word questions will come. Sometimes 3 or more one word questions are there. Okay. So sometimes they will ask from here also. So listen carefully. So what do you mean by escape sequence? Which symbol is a special symbol for you to denote the escape sequence? Backslash. Okay. So what's the name of this backslash? Escape character. Okay. So what's the meaning or what's the use of this backslash in program, in Python program? Okay. So what's the use of this slash means? So it will use to represent white space characters. White space means what? Space. Space between two letters. For example, here. For example, in between space is there, no? Yes, likewise, in between that white space, you are representing using these symbols. Okay. What's the use of this backslash? Mainly used to represent some space. Space means nothing but white space character. That means in between two characters, you are going to give some space. That's all. Okay. So, in backslash, we are using 3 backslash symbols. Listen. First one is backslash T. This is all very important. This will be common for all programming languages. Backslash T, backslash N, backslash R. So, you should know what's the meaning of backslash T. In program, they have given backslash T means you know what's the use of that. Backslash N means that. Okay, so listen. So, what's the meaning of backslash T means tab. So, in keyboard, you know the tab. What's the use of tab? If you press the space button means, so it will give some one space in between two characters. Space button. But you press the tab means, for example, consider this one. This is called as a tab space. Okay. From margin to here, some space is there, no? That is called a tab space. But in between these two words, one space is there, no? That is called white space. Understand? So tab means, for example, you are going to write one paragraph under one heading. So whether you will write from the margin, starting of the margin, no. First you should write heading, then next line leave some space and you start to write. That is called a tab space. Understand? So what's the use of backslash T? So in your program you are giving backslash T means it will, while you are printing, it will allocate some tab spaces. Understand? Next, backslash N. For example, one line, so you are printing in the program. At the end of the line, I am giving backslash N. If you are giving backslash n means automatically it will move to the next line, new line. Understand? So what's the use of this backslash n? Backslash n means, so in the program at the last I'll give backslash n means, so it will automatically move to the next new line. Understand? Yes. Next, backslash r, carriage return. Okay. What's the backslash r? Carriage return. Carriage return means already where the cursor point will be there, it will move to the back position. That's the use of backslash r. So 3 backslash symbols you have studied. What are they? Backslash t, backslash n and backslash r. Okay. So it is common for all the programming languages. So you should know what's the use of that one. So for example, they have given. So you are going to print, see, it's raining. This sentence you are going to print in your command prompt or in your Python language. So print, command prompt means always starts with what's the prompt symbol. Print, see, it's raining. So if you are giving like this, instead of this one, it backslash yes you are giving means automatically it will print the character like this. Understand? That means, so in between it will allocate one space and it automatically it will give it's rain. Instead of simply I have given like this, so in printing screen I am giving like this means automatically it will take us this apostrophe and it will allocate space between. Understand? So this tabular column is very important. What's the use of this one? And example also they have given. See, backslash. What's the name of this character? Backslash. So in print, if you are giving double this backslash means it will display the character like this. Okay. See, backslash I am giving test. So it will display one slash with the answer. Next, backslash with a single quote. So doesn't. This and all English you are studying, no? Like this you give means the answer you will get us like this. So just once you read, you will understand. Then backslash with double quotes. Okay. So this backslash I am giving inside double quotes. So that particular character will display in the output screen with double quotes. Okay. Then backslash n. That means Python in between backslash n means automatically will go to the new line and display the next one. Okay. Then backslash t. So that means tab space it will allocate. Understand? By reading itself you can understand. So once just go through it. Okay. So next one is Python data types. Okay. This also very important. Literals one part, that also very important. That also one important question. Literals in Python, very important question. Next one is Python data types. Okay. So what do you mean by data types? So already you have studied about this data types. What are the data types? Int, float, isn't it? Long. These are the data types. Already you have string. These are the data types. Already you have studied. So all the variables, all the values or all the objects you should mention with some data types. So whether data type is needed. For example, you are giving to some numbers in program. You are giving some numbers 1, 2, 3. So which data type you should mention? Int. Next, I am going to declare 5.75, one number. So which data type you should mention? Float. Next line I am going to type one character called computer. So which data type I need to type? String or character. Then true or false. Which data type? Boolean. So what's the use of this data type? Along with the objects, along with some values, you should identify which type that value or variable belongs to. Okay. So you are giving some value means you can able to identify this is integer data type. Next thing is float data type. Likewise, so each and every value of an object you can able to identify by using this data type. Okay, so each and every programming language has some already built-in data types. What do you mean by built-in? Predefined. While defining the programming language itself, they have predefined some data types. So, what are the types they have mentioned means, so listen, string. In Python, what are the data types they have mentioned? Number, string. This and all already you have studied. Last one program I explained, no? In that program itself you have studied. Number, string, boolean, tuples, list and dictionary. These are the some fundamental data types they have used. Okay. So first data type is a number data type. Okay. What's the first data type? Number data type. The same thing I explained in one program, that integer, float, complex, the same only. Okay. So in number data types, there are 3 data types are there. Okay. So in number data type, how many data types are there? 3. What are they means? Integers, floating point and complex. So in number data type, how many data types are there? Totally 3. What are they? Integer, floating point and complex numbers. Okay. So the integer numbers can have decimal, octal or hexadecimal. This and all important questions. So number data types is of how many types? 3. What are they? Integer, floating point and complex. Okay. Then integer data type are of types, how many types? 3. Again, decimal, octal and hexadecimal. Okay. Then next slide I explain with example, then only you will understand. So just recall that program. Okay. Octal number, how you are going to identify this number is octal. Number starts with O. Number starts with O means you should know that number is which number? Octal digit. Okay. The integers uses O, that the both upper and lower case. That means first and last. Number starts with O means the which kind of that one? Octal. Same thing. The number uses OX. Okay. Both upper and lower case. Okay. Both. That means either small letter or capital letter. Octal integer also either they can use small o or capital letter O. So if they are used means you know that's an octal number. Likewise, particular integers uses the both OX as a capital letter or small letter. You know that is an hexadecimal integer. Hexadecimal. Same thing, the number comes along with L. That means capital letter L. Uppercase only. Only capital letter L. Okay. That means long integer. Long integer means what? 1 lakh, 2 crore, 5 crore. That means long numbers. Length numbers. That is called as long integer. Okay. So in number data types, what are things you have studied? So number data types in Python, how many number data types are there? 3. What are they? Integer, floating point and complex. Okay. Again, this integer data type is divided into how many types? 3. What are they? Decimal, octal and hexadecimal. Okay. So how you can able to identify this number is octal? Number starts with O. Either capital letter O or small letter O. Similar, the number starts with either capital letter OX or small letter OX. That number should be a hexadecimal. The number comes along with only capital letter L. That is only uppercase. So you should know that is a long integer. Understand? Yes. See this example, then you will get understand. So what's the first number say? 102, 4, 5, 6, so normal numbers. That's called as decimal numbers. Here see, O 102, small O 806, capital letter O. Both small letter and capital letter O is there. So the number starts with O means octal integer. Okay. Then see OX, small letter OX also there, capital letter OX also there. So number comes along with OX means which integer? Hexadecimal integer. Okay. Then the number comes along with only capital letter L. That is called long decimal integer. Understand? By see this example means you can able to understand. So like I said, first just read the example, understand, then you study the theory. Then only you will never get forget. Okay. So next thing is a floating point. Which number we are calling as a floating point numbers? Point numbers. Isn't it? Yes. So the sum numbers you are represented in decimal digit. That means point, decimal point. Okay. So sequence, that means a collection of that decimal point numbers we are calling as a which in data? Floating point data. Okay. Understand this and all they will ask for separately. Sometimes they will ask what do you mean by floating point data? What do you mean by exponent data? What do you mean by complex number? So you should study and thorough this one. Understand and study. Okay. So which numbers we are giving as a floating point data? Collection of a point number. That means collection of decimal point. The number comes with decimal point. We are calling that number as a floating point. Okay. Next thing is exponent data. Okay. So this exponent data consists of two parts. Okay. So this exponent data consists of how many parts? Sorry, 3 parts. Okay. So this exponent, this is also important 2 mark question. Okay. So this exponent data consists of 3 parts. What are the parts means? Decimal part, decimal point and exponent part. Okay. So the exponent data consists of how many parts? 3. What are they? Decimal part, decimal digit, decimal part, decimal point, exponent part. Then that exponent part followed by some numbers. Okay. So then by see this example you can able to understand. Then only you will never get confused. This floating point, listen. Floating point is represented by decimal digit. Already you know. See 123.34, 456.23, 156 point. This kind of numbers you are calling as a floating point data. Already you know. Exponent data, how many parts I said? 3 parts. What are they mean? First one, decimal digit part. See this example, 12.E04. So first part is a decimal. So what's the decimal number here? 12. Normal numbers, 12. Then what's the second part? Decimal point. Decimal point is there? 12 point. Is it visible? Second part. What's the third part? Exponent part. That means E. E is the exponent. Then that exponent part is followed by some numbers or digits. That means 0, 4. Totally how many parts are there? 3. So by seeing this example itself you study. First part is a decimal part. So number. Next that decimal part point by decimal point. Then exponent E. Exponent is there. Then along with exponent followed by some numbers. What are the numbers? Here 0, 4. Understand? So by seeing this example you can able to understand. Next is a complex number. So complex number is also made up of how many parts? Real part and imaginary part. That already you know. What's a complex number? 1 plus 3.14j. So what's the real part? That program itself I explained. 1 is a real part. 3.14 IRJ. That's the imaginary part. Understand? So here you have studied. What are the data types you have studied? Floating point, exponent data, complex number. What do you mean by floating point? It's a collection of point numbers, decimal point numbers. What do you mean by exponent data? It consists of 2 parts, 3 parts. What are they? Decimal part, decimal point, followed by exponent part. That exponent part followed by some numbers. Then, complex number is made up of how many parts? 2. What are they? Real as well as imaginary parts. Okay. Next thing, what's the final data type is? Not final, third one. Boolean data type. Okay. So what's the next data type? Boolean. So already you have studied. Boolean data type always have how many values? 2. What are they? Either true or false. So Boolean data type always have how many values? 2. What are they? Either true or false. So they I have given in example 2 variables. What are they? Either Boolean variable, 2 variables I have declared. Bool variable 1. Then these are the variables. According to your wish you can declare. Okay. So your 2 values. What are they? Either it will true or false. Understand? So next one is a string data type. This and all already you have studied. Once again they are giving. That's all. So already you have studied string data type always enclosed with how many codes? Either single quote or double quote or triple quote. Where the single quote you will use? Sometimes you are going to represent a word. Means you will use single quote. Sometimes you are going to represent a sentence or 2 words or 3 words. Double quotes. You are going to represent a big sentence. Which quotes you will use? Triple quotes. Understand? So listen. Example they have given. So character data. So character. Single quote. String data. That means 2 words. String. So double quotes. Multi-line data. What do you mean by multi-line? One big sentence. So triple quotes. See? So triple quotes I have given. Understand what's the use of single quote, double quote and triple quote. So by this chapter is getting over. So what are the things you have studied today? Literals and data types. So literals is one of the important 5-mark question. Data type is one of the important 5-mark question. So this chapter is very, very important. Sometime mostly they will ask that token question. Sometimes they will ask the question as a token. Explain tokens with example. Otherwise they will ask that operators. Explain operators with example. Otherwise they will ask explain literals with example. Otherwise data types. So 4 important 5-mark questions are there. So after completion of this session, today's online class get over means, so you should study and write this questions. Okay. So this chapter assignment for you is this 4. Tokens, literals, data types. Okay, tokens question itself, operators will come. So you should write these 3 questions as an assignment. Once the school reopens, I will ask you to submit. Okay. Okay, students. So I thought already they have given some timetable for you to do homework or some assignment work for each and every subject, isn't it? Computer science, which day I think it's Wednesday or Thursday. So in that day, you should write this as an assignment. Okay. So next class I'll mark question answer for this chapter. Students, either you follow. So it is difficult to mark the question answers through online, I know. So either you follow Surah Guide. Okay, there at each and every chapter they have given book back question answers very neatly. Surah Guide, study chapter wise. So this next class onwards I will mark the question answers in book also. Okay, book also, because most of the students not at brought, I think it's so. So next class onwards you listen. From this chapter onwards I will mark the question answers. Okay, please study, don't waste time. Okay, so thank you students. Next class I mark the question answers and we can move to the next chapter. Thank you students. Thank you Ananda.